everybody. It's been a while. Been almost a year since I made content on this channel. And it's also been probably almost 2 years since I've made anything Yu-Gi-Oh related. It's about to probably be 2 years in like a month actually. But just like the title says, I made it first place, undefeated with Synchrons actually in my local, and I felt like it was fair for me to make a deck profile. So I, yeah, I'm just gonna show you guys what I played, and I will explain some of the cards that I played and why I played them. So yeah, as you can see, I basically won with Synchrons. So yeah, it's a very fun deck to play. Every single card is really, I just love them. I loved them ever since they came out, and for me they always made sense, so I kept playing them. And I guess my effort gave fruition since I did make it first place. So yeah, and as you guys can see, there are some Synchron cards that are questionable to some people, but I will explain why I play them and how I play them. Sorry fellas, drinking water. So yeah, for the Synchron package, I played one Jet, one Scrap, one Assault, two Junk, one Rev, and three Stardust. Now, I know that the reason why people are cutting Rev is because they were saying that it is kind of a brick and you can just use Junk Synchron and then revive the level 1, right, with Star Synchron and all the cards that Synchrons do have. However, the reason why I am still playing it is because it is still an extra body that can be used to make tuners in case you already use other effects or don't have any effects to be able to revive the level 1 Synchron monsters that you usually control, or any of the level 1 tuners for that matter. It does give you an extra option, so it is an extra layer, and also you can use it from hand. So in case you just happen to have certain materials, if you want to summon a level 7 or a level 8 Dragon Synchro monster, you can use this card from hand, and then voila, problem solved. Triple Stardust, the reason why I play Triple Stardust is easy. This is a starter. It is a crappy starter. It's probably the worst starter in this entire deck. However, it is still a starter, and because it is still a starter, also the top fact that it is a tuner, it does make it more valuable. So you put it at 3 to be able to go into a 1-card speeder, because this does give you a 1-card speeder. It is a crappy version of that 1-card speeder, but it is still a 1-card speeder. So I play 1 full speed, and this does have the same argument as Starter Synchron, is that it's a starter. It is actually the second worst starter in the deck. However, because it is not a tuner, I'd rather have it at 1, because this does lead you into a 1-card speeder fully, but you have to usually normal summon it, because unlike this one, which does have an effect to special summon itself, this one does not. This one does search you cards that let you special summon him, but you cannot do that on your own, and it is really good. However, I'd rather play it at 1. It is a consistent way to extend your combo. That's the best way to put it. So Sonic Warrior. Now this is a really good starter. However, the same reason why full speed is at 1 is because it is a non-tuner. It is better at 1, which basically leads you into search for any Synchron deck, Synchron monster from deck, and it also special summons itself if there is a card that mentions Junk Warrior or Assault Mode activate from hand. Let's just double check on that just to be precise. So if this card, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you control Junk Warrior, Assault Mode activate, or a card that mentions either of those cards. So it lets you basically special summon itself for free if you already control a monster that mentions Junk Warrior or Assault Mode activate. Junkmeister. Junkmeister is the best card in the deck. This card basically special summons itself for free without any requirements. All you need to do is just reveal a Stardust Dragon or a warrior monster with warrior in their name, and from the extra deck, so a synchro monster to be precise. And then you get to special summon itself, and then one special summon, it basically becomes Stratos, and you can search for a junk card actually, because it's not just junk monsters, it is junk cards. So you can search all the cards. However, you're usually gonna be searching junk monsters with this, and it's a great card. This card is amazing. This card is the best card in the entire deck. I play the one junk armor. This is usually what you want to basically search out of Junk Meister. It'll let you basically search for any junk card. You will search for junk armor, and then with junk armor, it has a popular like effect that once added, you can reveal it, special summon it, and then once in the field, it has another effect where you can tribute it to special summon any Synchron from deck. And usually this basically will lead into the one card speeder, and it'll lead into some really nasty plays. So yeah, the one starter's trail. And I understand the argument for cutting the starter's package entirely, like the elimination, the trail, and also the revolution. However, this is still an extender. And yes, it doesn't do anything on its own. However, it is a great extender. This is a great way to play around Nibiru. Ever since Dawn of Majesty and this card came into the play for Synchrons, you are able to basically get 3 bodies, because this is a body on field. If it's used to make a warrior or synchro monster, it is another body, so you basically have 2 bodies there, because it gives you a level 1 dragon token, and then once you tribute something, it summons itself again and becomes the 3rd body. So this is 3 bodies, straight up. Not a card that I would want to cut. It gave me it because of this card. You know, I basically was able to get 1st place and then still played around Nibiru. Even back when I got back into the game back in 2022, I believe. Drinking water. Alright, the one Synchro Fellowship. This is usually what you want to search out of the effect of Full Speed Warrior. If not, this is how you get your 1 card speed with Full Speed Warrior, rather. In case you just happen to have Full Speed Warrior on your hand, you will search for this. It'll let you then add a Junk Synchron and a monster that mentions Junk Warrior Starter's Dragon from the deck, and then you can basically dump 1. So it basically has a Graceful Charity like effect where you draw 2, discard 1. This is also the main reason why I play Junk Synchron at 2, because in case I happen to have 1 in my hand, I can then just, you know, use this, search for any tuner or non-tuner monster that I need, and then I would then dump whatever I need, and then draw another Junk Synchron. So this will basically be active because I have 2 Junk Synchrons. If I have 1 and I draw these 2 cards, this card would not work. It is still a great card because even when banished, when you banish it, you can lower the effect of a Synchro monster by 1, and then you can normal summon again. So it gives you an extra normal summon on top of the Graceful Charity effect. So it is a double summon Graceful Charity. That's amazing. That's really good. All you need is to just make sure you have a Junk Synchron in deck. And that's pretty good. Especially in a deck of 60 cards, you're always going to have at least 1 on the deck. It doesn't matter. Starter's Elimination. This is my way to play around Nibiru. If I already summon Speeder and they just decide to Nibiru me, I can use this card to dump Starter's Trail, and then I can tribute whatever token they give me, and then keep comboing because they basically the Synchrons never stop. This is how you basically play around Nibiru with this card. This card is great. It is a level modulator on the graveyard. It becomes a Foolish Burial. Or if you have a Stardust Dragon, or a monster that mentions Stardust Dragon in its text, it also becomes a sort of emergency teleport-like effect where you can special summon any Stardust monster. So yeah, it's great. Really good. This It's a really, really good card. It's just another way to extend in the multiple extensions that Synchron have. So yeah, I recommend it. Double Junk Signal. Some people are playing it at 1, some people are playing it at 2, some people are playing it at 3. I play it at 2 for the sole reason that you're usually going to resolve this maybe twice in a duel. Um, for the most part, you would just want to use it to protect your speeder. This is how you protect your speeder now. However, it also has an effect to tribute a monster and then summon another monster, whether it be a Stars Dragon or Junk Warrior from graveyard, or a monster that mentions them in the text from the deck. So it lets you revive a monster by tributing one, or it lets you basically also negate an effect, which is how you protect Junk Speeder. Triple Emergency Teleport. The reason why I play Triple Emergency Teleport is because of Side Reflector, since it's a psychic, and Triple Emergency Teleport is a basically 1-card speeder as well. And the reason why this is a 1-card speeder is that one, you summon this guy. Once you activate this, you summon this guy. This guy will then let you search for Assault Sonic Warrior, because this is still an Assault Mode activate card. You will special summon this, get a Synchron, and then you will go crazy. The same thing for Dual Evolution Assault Zone. This will let you search for Assault Sonic Warrior, which you can also search it by Side Reflector. So these three, this card and this card, on top of that, they basically become a 1-card speeder. So let's see how many 1-card speeders do we have here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 ways to basically summon speeder, and with 1 card. And that's amazing. I also played Elfnote Lucina. Ooh, I even forgot. I also play Synchro Rumble. This is basically how you basically revive your dragons or your tuner monsters from graveyard in case you need to revive a tuner. If you already have a dragon, you revive the tuner. In case you need to revive a dragon, if you already have the tuner, you revive the dragon instead. You will basically search this with Crimson Dragon, which I do have in the extra deck right here, so you can search this. It also has some protection for any level 7 or 8 Dragon Synchro in case it is destroyed by battle or card effect. So this also has an effect like Scrap Synchron, where it lets you protect your dragons. Really, really good. Basically another extender in the massive variety of starters that you see in this deck. Now I can go to what you see here, which is the Elfnote package. I play this as a package in the Synchron deck because Elfnotes, unironically, do lead into a 1-card speeder. Fun fact, it does lead into speeder as well. So if you guys didn't know, basically in particular the Lucinia and Tinia in particular, these two basically lead you into speeder, and I'm gonna explain to you how. So Lucina basically searches you an Elfnote monster, yeah, you would basically use this to search for Elfnote monsters. Tinia, I think, is the best one out of the 4 girls, because this lets you set a continuous spell. Usually the continuous spell will let you either discard a card or set a card from field to grave and then special summon a different Elfnote monster from deck to the field. Elfnote Fortuna. This is a card that I use for 2 main reasons. It lets you revive, so it gives you a grind game. On top of that, it lets you set a trap. And the good thing about Fortuna and Tinia is that they're both face up the continuous, but this one gives you a face up continuous spell, this one gives you a face up continuous trap. And with this, you will be able to play around cards like Droll and Logbird. Same thing with Regina. Once Regina is in hand, you can send an Elfnote monster, and then once special summoned, you can special summon an Elfnote monster from deck. So the reason why these ones are played at 1 is pretty simple. This one only sets up the trap, while this one basically lets you go into the full card 1-card speeder by special summoning an Elfnote monster. And I'm gonna explain to you guys how does that work in a second. I do play the Medius the Pure. This is also a one-card speeder. So if you guys saw, we had again 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is also a one-card speeder. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we have 21 ways to summon speeder. In a 60 card deck, that is pretty good, actually. 21 ways to summon speeder. So yeah, you think about that. You use Medius to Pure because it has sort of emergency teleport or fusion duplication effect for any Power Patron, unless you either add a Power Patron or special summon it. You would usually want to special summon the Elfnote Power Patron, which I played at 1. The reason why I played this at 1 is the same reason why I played the Synchrons for the most part at 1, as you can see, and that is because it's a good card, but it is only a good card because it does something when something else is already on the field, and it is a tuner. So you usually normal summon Medius to Pure, and then special summon the Power Patron. And from there, you can either do two things. You can either go into Axel Synchron, and then once this thing is used as Synchro material, you would basically be able to search for any of the Elfnote girls. Or you would level modulate this into a level 6, or level modulate this into a level 3 to be precise, and then 4 plus 3 equals 7, and then you will go into the Elfnote Seraphim to go into the full speeder that way. So yeah, there's many ways to go into speeder. Archmage Vandalism, you just use this card to be able to search for the Medius de Pure, and then if you don't need it, you can always discard it because Synchrons do have a lot of ways to discard cards. The same thing would go with the cards that we see here. If you need to discard something because it doesn't work for what you need at the moment, you can always discard with cards like Jet Synchron because this discards a card if it's in the graveyard. Synchro Fellowship discards a card. It doesn't have to be necessarily discarding any tuners or monsters I mentioned, Jump Warrior. And cards like Regina, since a card from field to grave, you can special summon Tinia. Then with Tinia, you set the continuous spell, and then the continuous spell then can discard a no, because this is sends a monster, but this one also sends a monster. Okay, so never mind on that, but you still basically do have ways to discard cards with like Jet Synchron or with the Synchro Fellows. And there's other ways which I'm going to explain to you, other ways that you can discard cards. Elfnote Welcome Home, this is what you usually want to set with Tinia because this also leads into the one card speeder if you use Tinia with this card. Elfnote Rhapsodia, you play this at 1, and you usually use this card to set it with Fortuna. This sets it face up. This also plays through draw that way, so you basically have a way to get a grind game in case they do stop you and you cannot summon speeder. And if they don't, it doesn't matter. You basically also have a way to get around cards like Forbidden Droplet. You have ways with this card to get around Dark Glow and No More, and other cards that usually you will not be able to respond with monster effects. Reinforcement of the Army. I use this to be able to search for Junkmeister or any warrior that I have in the deck. However, you will usually just search Junkmeister to go into your speeder combo. I play double attack this thrust. I use this card to basically go into the card that you see here, which is card destruction. So if they ever decide to wallows me or anything, I have to special summon a whole bunch of times, draw it, and I'll show you guys how I usually draw it, and then I will set card destruction. Because it is a normal spell, I will then activate it, and then I would basically just shuffle their entire hand into the deck. And then GG's, you lost, buddy. You should have not done that. Foolish Burial. You would use this to send anything that you need into the graveyard. It is a really, really good card. You can send Meteors to Pure and then go into your combo that way. You can send your starter Synchron. You can send her if you cannot use Starter's Elimination, and other cards that you will see me playing. Now I play Nemesis Corridor and I play Sacred Keldo the Sacred Protector. Now, the reason why I play these cards, and let me explain. Synchrons don't have a way to shuffle their cards back and have another way to basically grind the game. So I thought of two ways of being able to somehow shuffle my stuff back with non-engine. That would be Nemesis Corridor. This is a great card because it also plays around Shifter. And if not, I can basically also just shuffle anything that I banish and still have it by the next turn in my deck. Keldo, I can send it with Foolish Burial, I can send it with Card Destruction, I can send it with Jet Synchron, I can send it with any of the Elfnote spells or traps. And I have a way to either shuffle my cards from graveyard to deck, or it is also a form of interaction in the opponent's turn because it doesn't say shuffle your cards, it says target up to 3 cards in any graveyard. So you would just target even the opponent's monster. I have done that where they basically try to go into the full Fiendsmith combo, and this card's in graveyard. They try to revive this who go into Caesar, but I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna shuffle both of your Fiendsmith level 6s from grave back into your deck. I'm gonna shuffle whatever I need if I want to shuffle something from my deck, and then boom, now you have to find a different way to do your combo. So yes, this card is awesome. I have a way to shuffle my stuff back, and that would be monster, spell, or trap. And or if I just want to use it to interact with you on your turn, I just shuffle your stuff instead. So yeah, it's a really good card. This card's amazing. So I play triple Fualos and triple Ash Blossom and double Droll. This is how I usually go. I know some people play Imperm. The reason why I don't is because usually the best decks in the format right now, where both Cool Tune and but I believe Cool Tune is going down in popularity since it got hit, and the other one was branded, and usually those don't stop branded. Usually something like Ash Blossom does. I know Droll doesn't, however it is a really, really good card in the format because even though branded is not the only deck, there's still some other decks, and Droll does play good around those decks. So yeah, it is also a crossout target. And then the triple Fualos, because Fualos is just maxi with extra steps. It is still, yes, it is maxi with extra steps, but that's still maxi. So yeah, just strong cards, strong non-engine. Then after that, the rest is some board breakers and usually ways to counter those hand traps. So triple tactics talent. You know, if they happen to activate a hand trap that tries to stop me, I either get to draw 2 cards, or I can look at their hand and go in first. And if I'm going second, I can then use something like Thrust, control something, and then boom, get rid of a certain monster. I got Called by the Grave. This is your way to stop drawing Logbird, Ash Blossom, or Chummy Fualo. Same thing with Crossout Designator, but on top of being able to stop any of these cards, you can also stop Forbidden Droplet with Crossout Designator. So yeah, and then the last card would be Forbidden Droplet. It was between this or Imperm, and I think Forbidden Droplet does it better because on top of me being able to discard cards like Keldo, cards like Judge Trail, or anything that I don't need, and on top of that also is a card that you cannot respond. So yeah, I just rather play Droplet. I know Forbidden Crown is a card that exists, however I can't really afford it, and even if I did, I don't think I would be playing it in Synchrons because I'd rather get rid of the monsters than having something on the field for next turn. So yeah, now I'm gonna show you guys the extra deck. I play one Scrap Warrior. This is how you would also go into the Immune Speeder with a Sonic Warrior or Full Speed Warrior. You would search Scrap Synchron from hand. You can make Scrap Warrior. This will then even this will then search you your Junk Signal or your own Junk Synchron that way, or any monster that mentions them, and then you can either add them to your hand or send them to the graveyard. It is also a great way to Synchro climb because it is a small level. It's a level 3. Axel Synchron, this is usually how I go into cards like Bestial Dispatter, because if you summon Starter's Trail and you got a level 1, you go into Axel Synchron, then that will give you a level 1 Dragon token. You would then, with Axel Synchron, dump the Starter Synchron into the graveyard, make this level 9. The level 1 Dragon token and the level 9 will give you the spotter that way. It is a great way to mill things that you need as a combo extension also, because you can mill if you already have a level 1 of some sort, still a Synchron, so you will be able to go into Speeder. If not, you can dump it into the mill whatever you need, dump it into the graveyard with Starter Synchron, and then Starter Synchron will then lead you into the full Speeder that way. I play Garden Rose Maiden. I played it at 1. The reason why I play this card, and I also play the Rage Rose Witch, is because this thing basically lets you revive any dragon synchro from the graveyard. So yeah, you just Foolish Burial the Garden Rose Maiden with Rage Rose Witch, and then you get a free way to revive your dragons. I played the Heart and Soul of the deck, that being Junk Speeder. There's a lot of ways to basically summon Junk Speeder from this deck immune, and the funny part is that because of the Elfnote cards, even if you don't summon him immune, they will basically go in second into the interactions that you need to get rid of their monsters, and then just summon Junk Speeder if you already baited all of their traps, hand traps, and monster effects. I played one TG Librarian. This one's pretty simple. This is so you can basically draw your hand traps, your board breakers, and also the rest of your engine. It is also a good way to go into triple tactics, so you can go into card destruction, which is your win condition into Fualos. The next one is obviously, like I said, Rachel was Rich. You use this to send Maiden to graveyard, so you can use Maiden to revive any Dragon Synchro monster from the graveyard. This also has an extra effect that when something is destroyed, it can special summon itself to the field, so it basically becomes an extra body, so you can basically keep playing. The next one will be Elfnotes Seraphim's Strelitzia. This one is so you can revive any Elfnote monster. So like if they already hit you with, let's say Droll, and you have Tinia or any Elfnote monster that you want to revive, you should revive it on the opponent's turn, and then you do something in the opponent's turn, whether it be banish a card from the hand and until the end of the turn, whether it be send something from the hand back from the field back into the hand, or send a spell from the field back into the hand. Or you can just revive your Power Patron and then Synchro climb into whatever you need. The next ones are going to be Axel Synchro Starter's Dragon and the original Starter's Dragon. And the reasons why I play these two is pretty simple. This basically gives you your immune speeder, so you will always want to play it. It also activates effects of Starter's Illumination to special summon, and it is a great way to Synchro climb on top of basically also making your speeder immune or any card that you need to have immune at that moment. Silo and Omega, this is for your loop with the spotter. Pretty simple. It also shuffles cards from the banish zone. Not shuffle them. It sends them from the banish zone back into the graveyard, and when this card's in the graveyard, it also shuffles a card back into the extra deck or the deck. So it has great ways to grind in case you need a grind game. You can send your Keldo from the banish zone back into the graveyard, shuffle 3 more cards back. So it has great ways to do things. You can send this from the banish zone back into the graveyard, or you can send your Assault Synchron after banishing it to revive a Dragon Synchro that was tributed. So this has a lot of good effects. It does a loop. It has Grind Game. It banishes a random card from the opponent's hand, or it shuffles something from the graveyard back into the deck, and then it shuffles itself back into the extra deck. Ravenous Cargo Dragon. This is actually my way to deal with Branded, because Branded exists and they can just set Fallen of Albaz and then tribute all of your dragons. I can just discard any random card, which also leads into, you know, discarding your Keldo, discarding your Synchro Fellowship or your Illumination or anything that you need to discard, like your Mocharmies after already using them and basically not working for that turn. You discard any random card that you have in your hand, and you destroy a card. This is also a good card that plays around towers, because for every card in your hand you basically gain 500 attack. So if you keep drawing cards because of the effect of TG Hyper Librarian, this basically becomes a big beast stick that you can use to beat other beast sticks. So yeah, this is my answer to tower monsters, and it is also my answer to Branded. It is also a level 9 that is very generic. I know some people are playing Trishula. I know some others are playing Axel's Stardust Warrior. But the reason why I don't play those cards is because Trishula, you need to go into Crimson Dragon and then target a level 9 or make a monster from level 8 to level 9 or level 10 to level 9, and then that's how you do it. So it's like extra steps. The same thing happens with that Stardust Warrior. You need like a synchro monster to go into it, and then you will have to synchro summon the opponent's turn to go into it. You can do this on your turn, draw one extra card. You can do them on their turn, draw one extra card. So it gives you an extra card for the grind game. And if not, they set Albaz. Alright, I'm just gonna discard a card, destroy the card. You can't set Albaz. I just destroy your Albaz. What are you gonna do about that? So yeah, great card, and it's more generic, and it also becomes sort of a tower-like monster because it gains attack for every card in your hand. I don't think I would change it. I think this is better than Stardust Warrior and Trishula because of that. I understand Trishula does banish a card from the opponent's hand. However, you already got cards like Siloed Omega, you already got cards like Elfnotes. You don't need that. I just think this just does better. It just has a better effect. And if the card is useless, just discard it, destroy your card. Pretty simple. Let's show the spatter. This is a card that you use for the grind game. You also use it to make your end board, and if not, you can also use it to do the loop with Siloed Omega, where if you banish Siloed Omega to banish a random card, you would then special summon it with the effect of Visceral Spatter and then do it again. If not, you would just set it on the field, then this thing on the opponent's standby phase, you would send a card from Banish Zone back into the graveyard, and then you would do it on the opponent's standby phase, on the opponent's main phase, and then banish the card, and then you do the loop. This is also a way that you can get rid of cards like Super Poly. If you just happen to hit it, you can get rid of Dark Ruler No More. You can get rid of certain trouble cards that you want to get rid of so that they don't use them until later, and by the time that happens, your board is already done and you basically beat them. So this is also how you beat Albaz. You go like Visceral Spatter, Siloed Omega, get rid of their Super Poly, and then with the Ravenous, you will basically pop their Albaz. Now, the last three cards I have is Duration, Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, and the Crimson Dragon. And the reason why I play this, I play Duration for target of Crimson Dragon. It also has sort of like a nuke effect where it destroys any face-up spell or trap or any face-up monster on the field by paying 1,500 life points. And then every single time the opponent activates an effect, it just gains 300 life points. So you would just be gaining a lot of life points. And then If they just happen to summon something, you would then pay 1500, destroy every single card. Boom. It's pretty good. It also becomes the Crimson Dragon target, so you can target it, summon just the Star Dragon, and then this is your Omni Negate in the deck. This thing, in my opinion, is better than Cosmic Blazar and Shooting Quasar because it does have the same effects of negate, but it's negate and banish, not negate and destroy. Yes, Cosmic Blazar is a better monster overall, but in a deck like Synchron, where they have both odd and even number tuners, going into this actually becomes easier. It is more efficient. It has an Abyss-like effect, like a Hot Red Dragon or Abyss-like effect, where you can target a monster, negate their effects, and then that's the hard ones per turn. However, it also has a Omni Negate that's a soft ones per turn. So if you banish it, you can then, like, let's say revive it with the effect of Assault Synchron from the banish zone, and then you will revive it again, and then you can use the Omni Negate again. It also has an attack that stacks for every Stardust Dragon in the graveyard. So it attacks one, and then because you have two Stardust Dragon monsters, it can attack 2 more times. So this thing basically attacks 3 times in the game. And then with cards like Assault Sonic Warrior, which has an effect that when used as a Synchro monster, then when it's used as Synchro material, or the effect of a Synchro monster, your attack goes from 4,000 to 4,500. So you got ways to deal with things in this deck. Every single thing synergizes perfectly, and nothing here is bad. Now, I already talked about Crimson Dragon. It's just so you can target Duration. You can make it with the Spatter, and then provide the Spatter with Garden Rose Maiden. You can make it with Axel Sync with Stardust Dragon and your Star Synchron. Or you can make it with your Omega, shuffle something back from the graveyard, and then revive the Stardust Dragon or whatever. And then this has a lot of variety. The last cards. Oh, and this is funny. So, like, because this card is 1,000, and let's say they summon Typhon, you can discard 2 cards, just destroy the Typhon, and then they can't summon. So there's also another way to get rid of Typhon if they happen to summon it. The last row here is going to be the side deck that I played. Now, I play Retaliating Sea at 3, and this is really funny. The reason why I play this is also because of Branded, because if they use the Branded Fusion, you would activate its effect, summon it, and then it becomes a shifter on board. It is also a level 4, so if you have a level 1 tuner, this basically leads you into full speeder combo, which is funny. And other things, like, it also stops hero, because if they activate, which did happen in the local, by the way. Somebody was playing hero, they activated a hero lives, and then I just hit them with Retaliating Sea, and they couldn't do anything about it. So yeah, it's a great card. I don't know if I want to keep it. However, it did win me 2 games, so I might keep it. It is something that I'm still not sure, but however, it did win me 2 games, and it was great. You just summon this for free after they activate a spell, and then they can't do much after that. Then after that is Mochami Meowlos and Mochami Perulia. I only play Perulia too because the effect, even though it is still a maxi-like effect that when they activate cards, they summon cards from hand, you get to draw a card. It is still not better than Fuwalos, because Fuwalos is from the deck, and usually in Yu-Gi-Oh! The deck is where you usually see cards being special summoned the most. It was good last format, because last format, not last format, it was good the format prior to that. No, it was last format, when Vanquish Soul Canine and Yummy and Draco Tail were in the mix, because this was really good against Vanquish Soul Canine, but not right now. Muchami Meowlos, I think this card's kind of busted. It's just waiting to be just kind of explode, because this does have an effect like Fuwalos except from the graveyard or banish zone. And the reason why I think it's busted is pretty simple. This thing basically forces you to play around the graveyard, and you cannot special summon from the graveyard, or you cannot special summon from the banish zone, limiting your plays. A lot of decks, on top of being able to use the extra deck a lot, they also use the graveyard a lot. And this card just does really good wonders against those decks, like for example Lunalight or Branded, or let's see, another good deck that basically likes to special summon from the graveyard, Synchrons, for example. This is really good in Synchrons. Technically, every single one of the Mocharmies are really good in Synchrons because they like to use the hand, the graveyard, and the extra deck a lot. And then after that, it's just a lot of back row hate because I don't like trap decks. I don't like decks that just set and pass, so I just have to like cards like, you know, Feather Duster, Lightning Storm, and Evenly Match all at 3 as much as I can. I just really hate trap decks, and yeah. And even if it's not a trap decks, you know, decks like Runic and all that stuff, this just does wonders against those decks. So yeah. So yeah, this is my deck. If I was thinking about changing something, it would probably be Lucina. I would probably put Lucina at 1, and then I would add, like for example, I would do this. I would put Crossroads Sonic Check, and then another card that I would add would be Heavy Slump. And this is just another way to be able to play around Wallows and Parolia and all of that, because if you have like 8 or more cards, you then shuffle your entire deck and then draw 2. So it forces you to, if I don't have card destruction, I can just set this one with Triple Tactics, or if I draw it, I set it, and then the opponent's turn, I just then force him to shuffle the entire hand, and then only have 2 cards left. And the reason why I played Crossroads Sonic Check is because this would give me a more consistent way to get into Speeder with Starter Synchron, because I can search with Synchro Fellowship the Crossroads Sonic Check and the Junk Synchron. I would then dump the Junk Synchron, special summon this, and then this will lead into another version of Speeder that way. And the reason why I would put Lucina at 1 is pretty simple. It's just that this one plays through draw where the other ones don't. Because this one searches a monster. So if you search a monster, then they hit you with draw, you won't be able to like do anything that you want, and then you would be limited into your plays. It is still a good card. I'm not saying no. That's why I had it at 3 and I had it like that. But the more that I think about it, I think Teeny is the best one because it lets you search the continuous spell, which then lets you special summon any of the other Elfnote girls. Yes, this lets you search Tenia, but it also puts itself, every single one of them puts themselves in the main center monster zone, and they cannot be special summoned unless the main center is free, and the only one that can special summon itself without that is Regina by sending one of them into the graveyard from field or hand. So yeah, I would just play like this one at 1, and then I would play the other girls at. I would play the rest of the ratios would be the same. But yeah, this is deck that I played. If you guys actually want to see a small combo, I would not mind showing you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry, I basically had to redo the whole thing again because I basically messed up the quality of the last one, so I basically had to redo the video. But I basically draw what I want right here. I'm just gonna show you basically the combo with the Elfnote and how you can basically bridge your Elfnote into Synchron, right? So basically we can just start with the Elfnote, Tenia, right? So we go Tenia, use Tenia's effect, just basically go welcome home, so just welcome home. You can send whatever you want. In this case, I'm just gonna send Wallows to special summon the Power Patron. I'm not gonna basically change the level here with the Power Patron. I'm gonna use the effect of the Power Patron and Mr. Alyssa to revive the Power Patron. Every single one of them lower, and then here I'm just gonna get myself Fortuna. And the reason why I would get Fortuna is pretty simple, is so I can set up the trap. use Fortuna to set up harness, right? And then here I can go into the axle. And keep in mind that this is just the way that you bridge. Axle is basically your bridge into the entire Synchro combo line, right? And then here I can use this to send an Elfnote card. In this case, I'm just gonna send Fortuna to get back the Synchro monster. And this is how you Synchro climb and bridge yourself right into the entire Synchro. You provide that Power Patron, right? Keep in mind this is how I did. I went Tenia, and this is why I think this is the best one. So you go Tenia, discard a card with the continuous spell. It would either be Tenia herself because you can just special summon the Regina, right? And the Regina will special summon the Power Patron. This is a one card combo. It's just that I basically had a card in my hand that I could discard. But if you don't want to discard Tenia and discard something else, you can just get whatever you want. However, discarding Tenia and then going into Regina will be your play, because Regina then special summons the Power Patron, which then leads to the entire combo regardless of how you do it. And then here, obviously, you tribute that monster, right? With Start of Synchron, use the effect of Start of Synchron, getting you Synchro Fellows. With Synchro Fellows, and you're going to get yourself a level 2 and your junk Synchron. You're gonna dump that level 2. And now you're gonna use the effect of Synchro Fellows to make that Stardust into a level 7 so you can get that additional normal summon. Now this is your first normal summon of the entire play. And you basically get a free speeder with a 1-card combo. And then here you're just gonna go right with Stardust into the axle, and your feeder is immune from any card effect. And even when they hit you with Nibiru, you still got other cards in your hand. So here you get Jet, you get your Assault, and you get your Revolution, the body, and you're just gonna go crazy now. So here I'm just gonna use these two to go into the Witch. Use the effect of the Witch. Don't use the effect of Jet, because I really do like having that card. So here I'm just gonna use the effect of Jump Meister to special summon itself. Get myself the Junk Signal, just in case I don't happen to draw it. And the reason why I say that is because I'm gonna make my Meister a level 2. Right, so I can get myself to the Hyper Library. There's other ways that you can do it, it's just the way that I like to do it. I'm gonna do it like this, then get myself the Crimson Dragon here. Dragon. Get myself Synchro Rumble. Get myself here the Stardust Dragon. Get myself the Dispata. With the spotter, you're just gonna basically get whatever you want. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna now the effect of my Assault Zone, since I just happen to get it, to get myself Assault Sonic Warrior. Use the effect of Assault Sonic Warrior to special summon. Get myself a Synchron from deck to hand. I'm just gonna get myself another Junk Synchron. And here I'm gonna go with Revolution. In case I just happen to dump something right into the duration. So this guy. Dump a card into the graveyard and just dump the other Star Sync. Draw. Here I can basically go into the Omega. Right? I mean, I can just do this way. Because I can still go the Omega the other way. Get myself into the card. Look at that. I got 2 junk signals. Boom. Boom. I could either dump the junk signal and then get the Omega that way. However, I'm just gonna do it this way instead. So I'm just gonna go normal summon this junk Synchron. I mean, do I even have to? Can't I just use the Power Patron and raise this level by 3? Pretty sure I could do that. Doesn't matter. So here I go the junk. I don't even have to activate the level if I don't want to. However, I do have an idea how. I can just revive it here. I don't even have to change the level. Just do this. Get this Omega, get something out. Use the Maiden. Provide that the spotter. And then get that Omega back. Boom. And then here you can either do one or two things. You can rip again if you want to, or you can save the Omega to basically shuffle something back down so you can do it again. And keep in mind that this is just the most powerful M board that you can do, but it's not the only M board that you can do. You can do different ones. You can actually, if I'm honest, just having Jurai, the Croc, and then shooting Majestic is enough to threaten an entire freaking field, because this is really unbreakable. There's barely anything that can break this entire board, and even if they do, it'll just come back because of how much it has. Because you have a way to basically protect your monsters by using this. You have another way in the form of Rhapsody of Madness, because right here, right, you can just go in phase, right? You don't press anything. You use the effect, and let's say here they activate something, you just go and just use this guy and then summon a monster. Because right here, right, you can go Chain Omega 1, Sodium 2, send this one, get the Tenia back. Shuffle something. Boom, banish another card. You banish 3 for free. And then here you can just go, oh, it's like, that's a set Albaz? Alright, so I'm just gonna send 2 cards, pop that. Oh, you summon another thing somehow? I'm just gonna destroy it. What are they gonna do? You basically loop 3 cards out of the entire hand. And you got an Omnigate. Boom. So, yeah. That is Synchron, and then you can just recycle everything. If they kill something, you basically have the Garden Growth Maiden, just basically get it back into the field and then keep the grind game going. But yeah, that's Synchron. I just wanted to show you the most optimal, well, it's not really the most optimal way. You can basically play this deck however you want, but this is just like an optimal combo. There's better optimal combos in this entire deck. This is just the one that I wanted to show you because it's the one that I drew the cards that I was going to do the combo with anyways. I wanted to show you guys how you can bridge from an Elfnote card, and this to me again is the best one, into the entire Synchron combo. Axel Synchron is basically your go-to in this situation. Axel Synchron basically gets you into the entire bridge. This card is great because even if they happen to do something and you can't bridge it, if you just summon something that's like a level 4 into this, you just send the start of Synchron and then you still go into full junk speeder. Because it counts as a Synchron. It is a Synchron. So yeah, this is the Synchron combo video. First place, undefeated. Elfnote Synchron. Yeah, I recommend you guys to try it out. Alright, I love you guys. See ya.